What do we have for Pisces, please? Four of Swords, Libra energy at the foundation of the reading, Pisces. Pisces, I feel that there's somebody who's been trying to make things more difficult for you, and I feel that they are just now starting to get some sort of message, or maybe they've been watching you without you really being aware of it, that whatever they have done has not had a lasting effect. The Four of Swords here is speaking to us about an energy of recovery that you may be in right now. And what I'm getting here is you are in this sort of in-between where the divine is really preparing you for some sort of new beginning, some sort of new chapter. And this person or these people, whoever or whatever this may be for you, are starting to see that all of their efforts that they have made to try and stop you or hold you back have completely failed. In fact, I feel that Spirit has transmuted these attacks that they have sent towards you, and it's now being used to empower you. But there's also a recognition where I feel that you are starting to look at things from this different perspective. You're really starting to get an understanding of who these people really are. Now, this can be showing up as you gaining some sort of different perspective over your life as a whole up until this very moment. It's as if you're starting to have some sort of movement, and it could be success, it could be some sort of personal triumph that you're beginning to see come to life in your own reality. And it's only being made possible because you've become much more disciplined with who you allow into your energy. You've been focusing on your health. I'm hearing your mental health as well. It doesn't have to be just physical health, though it certainly can be, but more health on all levels: spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. But ever since you started working on these areas and you've seen improvement and just overall growth, again, you're starting to reevaluate your past, and you're simply not looking at certain people the same way you once did. It's like you begin working on yourself, being solely focused on you as a way of ripping people's masks off. And what's interesting is they haven't done anything different. They haven't changed. You've changed. The filter by which you're perceiving these people and your life up until this moment has completely shifted. And because of this, you are starting to see them for who they really are. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords would be the perfect energy to compartmentalize what I'm saying. It's like you finally see something that has been taking place, whether it's an action that they have been taking towards you, or again, it's just you seeing them for who they really are. And you're starting to see how much they truly hid this up until this moment. You're really starting to see how sneaky these people really always were, and that they never really supported you. In fact, they were working overtime to betray you when you were none the wiser. It's like not even suspecting that a certain people or a certain group of people are constantly doing things to affect your success and your growth, because you just never would have second-guessed them, only to find out that those closest to you have turned out to be some of the worst enemies you've ever had, which can be far more dangerous than a foreign enemy, right? Someone that you don't really know. Because the problem is, when it comes to people that are close to you, who you wouldn't suspect, they know everything about you. They know all the ins and outs of your life. So they have a different kind of access. They know that you would never suspect them. And if you did, they would quickly be able to shut it down with gaslighting tactics. Oh, I would never do anything to hurt you. You know, maybe you just take a little rest. Maybe you're tired. Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. You know, all this sorts of stuff. Okay, but this is what is being exposed to you now. And the reason for all this, Pisces, is because it's going to arm you with the necessary confidence to be able to push forward and pull through this success in this new season of your life. What do we have at the sacral, please? Chariot, Cancer energy at the sacral. Now, this is following what I'm saying, because this is showing us that, yes, there is this victory coming through. And see how this person back here, right? It's like you're in this energy of recovery, and this person back here is looking very angry. And Pisces, I feel that you're getting this victory coming through because you have been able to practice some sort of self-control. There's some sort of focus or determination that you have implemented that you haven't been able to access in this capacity up until now. And I feel a lot of this has to do with outside influence. Now, a really basic example of this is when you're trying to achieve something in your life and there's somebody coming through telling you that you're working too hard, you need to take a break, and they're trying to encourage you to, go have a good time, go party, go have a drink with them, whatever it may be, okay? It just depends on who you are and what your situation is. But it's like they're trying to tempt you with things to steer your focus away from what you're working on. And it's ever since you have distanced yourself from these energies, or depending on where you are in relation to this message and timeline, maybe you need to distance yourself from these energies so you can pull through this victory. But it's ever since you've been able to do this that now everything is changing. Yeah, I just heard the entire landscape is changing. What do we have at the solar plexus? Too many cards. Queen of Cups, Empress. Too many cards. What do we have at the solar plexus? What do we have at the solar plexus? Three of Pentacles, Capricorn energy in reverse. And again, this is following what we're saying because the Three of Pentacles in reverse is speaking about somebody who is creating some sort of stagnation, or it's like they're trying to block your creativity. This is literally somebody who would devise a plan to take your focus away from something you're working on and get you wrapped up in some sort of toxicity or in a space that is going to see you being met with delays, or is going to see you maybe too tired to work on what it is you need to work on. That whole, oh, come out, have a good time. Don't be such a square. Pisces, I would go as far as saying that anybody you're dealing with right now, at this very moment, that approaches you like this, you need to distance yourself from, okay? Because anybody who tries to put you down for working too hard on something that you're very focused on is not supporting you. It's one thing to say, hey, if you ever feel like taking a break, let me know, right? But this is something different here. This is complete sabotage. And these sorts of people, I feel, are very dangerous to the things you're trying to manifest, because it's not just about trying to get you to lose focus for a night or maybe a day or two. They're always working on a bigger plan. The plan is to completely steer your focus altogether. I'm also hearing something here about an individual who's having a really hard time coping with your success or the success you're about to have. But this is the same kind of person that would be keeping tracks of all of your moves when nobody's looking. But as soon as the spotlight's on them, it's like they're fake busy. Oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for this. I have other things I need to focus on. But make no mistake, this person is one of your biggest haters and by far your biggest fan. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Star card, Nine of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so you're on your way to something. That's very clear here, Pisces. So whatever it is you're manifesting, working on, or just have your mind focused on right now, that's in the realm of possibility here, okay? But there's this other disrupting energy that is steering a lot of the focus in this reading right now, because that's a very important component to understand to be able to attain this success, right? The Star card is an energy that's in the spotlight. This is what you want to see for a reading like this. Now, the spotlight is just speaking about whatever it is you're working on. This is you in the spotlight of whatever that manifestation is. So I'm hearing that the divine is working on things behind the scenes for you, rearranging things on your path to align you with said manifestation, right? And see the Nine of Pentacles here and the Page of Pentacles. You go from, well, this would be the full gamut, other than the 10, which comes after the 9, obviously. But the Page of Pentacles is the first step of manifestation. This is you saying, okay, here it is, let's go. And then the Nine of Pentacles is where you're going to end up. So depending on where you are on the path, you're going to be somewhere between here and here, okay? But the fact that we're seeing this is telling us that this is well on its way to becoming a reality here. What do we have at the heart, please? Justice, Libra energy at the heart. And then I have the Magician And the Seven of Swords again. We saw that from this deck. I just switched decks. Ten of Wands, Hermit, Magician. Okay, so the Magician is all about, well, this represents the power of manifestation. This is you having all of the elements at your disposal, all of the tools, so to speak, to be able to pull this off. Okay, so there's a tremendous amount of support here, but I feel that even though Spirit is working on things behind the scenes for you, it's almost as if your focus right now needs to be on protecting your energetic environment from these sorts of energies. And really the best way to do this is just to create some sort of distance between these energies. Seeing Nine of Wands in my mind's eye, so an energy of boundaries. But the Justice card is speaking about a balance being restored here, or okay, I just heard it's not balance being restored, it's balance being brought for the first time, okay? This is to say that you've been on the bottom of the wheel, so to speak, and now you're getting your time on the top of the wheel because of the way you've been moving. See, it may have been a large portion of your life, maybe your entire life up until now, where it felt like you've been on the bottom of the wheel and other people have been on the top. But now is your time. And this wheel is going to shift, these scales are going to rebalance, and you are going to be sitting on the top of the wheel for the rest of your life because you deserve to be there. There's a win here, Pisces, but you got to stay very focused right now. You've got to pinpoint these energies. You know, the message here is coming through so strongly about your environment. Some of you, again, depending on where you are on the path, may not be fully aware of some people's ulterior motives towards you. It may be that you think that there's people that are supporting you and really they're just trying to position you to be able to rip the rug out from underneath you. You know, it's like a situation where you're getting really close to something. You've been working on, I just got a ringing in my ear, so I feel that this is going to resonate for a lot of you. You're getting really close to something. You've been working on something for a really long time. There's people in your environment that have been watching you do this. And then in the 11th hour, right before you're getting ready to have some sort of breakthrough, one of these people comes through and they say to you, you know, are you really sure you want to do this? I don't know if that's going to work out for you after all. And maybe this person has been really supporting you up until this very moment, right? It's like there's this whole plan that they have been devising without you knowing it. And it all has to do with destabilizing your confidence right there in that last moment when you need every ounce of support. So you fall back, you second guess yourself, you doubt yourself, right? Because it's usually in that 11th hour, which can be seen as the last step, right? That the self-doubt floods back. Feels like there's this massive force that is pushing back against you. And then these words, they just creep into your psyche and you end up self-sabotaging based on what this person says to you. I'm picking up something very similar to this, Pisces. You know, in a lot of your cases as well, these people didn't expect you to make it this far. All of a sudden, there you are, one more step, and they're like, oh, crap, I didn't think they were going to make it this far. But you need to watch out for this because these people are showing you exactly who they are in that final moment. This is when the mask slips. So I want you to remember that, Pisces. So if you're someone out there who's dealing with something similar and that happens, you're going to remember what we channeled through here for you. And you'll know that's your sign, okay? And if it does happen, you need to push forward with everything you've got because that is also a sign that the breakthrough is right there, just outside of your grasp. I'm hearing that there's some individuals here that don't want you to break out of an idea that they have of you. It's like the idea that they have of you makes them feel better about themselves. So it's as if to say that you not succeeding at something makes them feel like they don't have to put in any extra work to improve their own life because you're right there with them. People would rather try and pull you down than lift you up. What do we have at the throat, please? Too many cards. Huh. Interesting. So the Nine of Wands just fell out. We were just speaking about that, right? See, here they are. You've got up this perimeter, and there's this wolf that's trying to break through. What do we have at the throat, please? High Priestess, Pisces, you're showing up in your reading. Perfect. Right there at the throat. Okay, so you're being divinely guided, divinely led through all of this, okay? And I feel that this situation that's taking place right here has to happen, okay? The exposure is all a part of this success. And it makes perfect sense. It's like Spirit saying, okay, yeah, this is about to happen for you, all right? But we've got to cover our bases in a few other areas of your life, your personal relationships and whatnot. Because if we don't clear up some issues in those areas, when you do step into this new cycle where this manifestation is waiting for you, you could end up messing up the whole thing by having the wrong people around you. I'm also hearing something here about love bombing, okay? Now, this doesn't have to be directly connected to a romantic partner. You can connect it to family, you can connect it to business opportunities. It's just a sort of saying, okay? It's just people who are giving you all this praise, but they're doing it because they want something from you. I'm hearing they want to hook into your energy. There's something very parasitical here, okay? But what's interesting about these kinds of people, if you're unreacted to this sort of love bombing, okay, they end up exposing themselves because as soon as you don't respond to it, it's like they flip the script. All of a sudden, they don't support you. All of a sudden, you're not that great, okay? So again, this is coming through here with this High Priestess at the throat because I feel that your intuition is going to be pinging you about a lot of different people right now. So just be careful. If people are doing the most, okay, as a means to get inside your energy, this is going to set off some sort of alarms, intuitively speaking. I'm hearing something about you having a gut feeling as well. You know, when you get that weird feeling about somebody and you don't know why. I'm also hearing something about animals reacting to this person. That's not going to be for all of you. That's a bit specific, but it's more of an example. You know, sometimes animals will react to people that have a bit of a weird energy, right? But this could also just speak about you paying attention to, I just heard the elements. Yeah, it's sort of like paying attention to the environment around a person and a connection with the person. How are your energetic surroundings communicating with you at that moment? It's just one of these times in your life, Pisces, when you say to yourself, something just felt off. Okay, so you need to honor that, pay attention to that, especially at this time. I feel that a lot of you are dealing with individuals that are comparing themselves to you, and they're sort of stuck in the cycle of guilt and shame, and they don't realize that this sort of mindset is continuing to separate them from their own blessings. It's like it keeps them small. It's like these people don't understand that everyone has their own journey and it's always going to unfold in a divine order. Yet they're still forming weapons against you, however this shows up for you, because they think that they can somehow take what is meant for you, which they can't. Sure, they can slow you down, but you have to be willing to let them slow you down, which sounds like a strange thing to say because who would be willing to do that? But it's less obvious, right? It's when you don't really realize it. You're just giving these people an audience, or you're allowing them into your energy, which is creating the stagnation, okay? Which is the whole purpose of this message here, is so you can see where that's happening and stop it from creating those delays. So again, High Priestess at the throat, at the communication. I'm hearing something about you hearing it in people's voices. Yeah, it's her love bombing again, okay? The excessive praise. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Perfect. Hermit. Virgo energy right there at the third eye. Okay. This High Priestess and Hermit at this third eye and throat position here are really emphasizing your connection to source at this time. Now, the Hermit is an energy of your inner guidance, okay? It's an energy that is highlighting the need for you to take all questions and or decisions that you need to make right now to source. It's like saying that you need to focus and rely on Spirit for every step and every move that you are currently making, as opposed to people in your external environment, which is now showing us an evolution to the message, because here you are being guided to create distance from people that you may have been relying on that, come to find out, are doing things to backstab you in some capacity here, right? There's some sort of deception there. There's some sort of mind games, that love bombing kind of energy. Spirit is saying, you know what? Go ahead and distance yourself from all those energies right now and focus on my connection with you, okay? Because you also have to remember, I quite often say this in the readings, that, when it comes to a path similar to the one that you're on, Pisces, you can't possibly expect somebody to be able to advise you, okay? And the reason for that is because they simply have not been where you're going. It's like going to somebody and asking them for advice when you're going through some sort of ascension or spiritual awakening in your life. And this person has done zero work and or ever been through any sort of spiritual awakening themselves. This is actually a part of the ascension process. By no longer relying on another human being to hold your hand through a process that they themselves haven't been through. And also getting to a point where you no longer need somebody else's validation for a path you're on. This is a huge part of going through a big awakening in your life, right? You know, it can feel real good when you get validation from somebody who you thought supported you or you thought cared about you in a certain capacity. It's nice when another person is proud of you for all your growth. But you've gotten to a point now, Pisces, where I feel that you've just outgrown everybody in your environment and you're going to have to get used to not needing any of those things, okay? When you get to a level that is so high, Pisces, relying on another human being in this capacity here is not possible. You have to rely on the next thing that is above you, and that is spirit, the divine, God, whoever you look to for your supreme being. You must look to the higher power. This is where you're at now. Because you have to remember that relying on any less than the higher power at this point in your life causes you to stay limited inside a space that whoever you're looking to exists inside of. It's like they are now setting the benchmark for your own spiritual growth. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. But sometimes we don't think about it that way. So having said all that, we have the High Priestess and the Hermit back to back here. Spirit is all over this reading, okay? And is here for you. But because of your free will, you have to reach out. You have to show up. Once you do this, then everything will begin to change. The time and energy that you have spent putting into all these people that don't have the capacity to support you in the way that you need right now needs to go into your connection with Source, period. If you truly want to see this breakthrough unfold in the manner by which you have always been dreaming, feeling, knowing, then this is the way you have to move. What do we have at the crown, please? King of Cups. Water energy at the crown in reverse. Okay. The warning hanging over this reading is so strong, especially with this King of Cups in reverse at the crown. So my crown position is typically the message from Source, okay? And what we're getting here is a message from Source saying that somebody else is trying to play God in your life. This person is trying to take advantage of the version of you that they have always known before you began having this breakthrough. This person is trying to pull on your heartstrings. The King of Cups in reverse is an energy of manipulation and emotional abuse, but it doesn't always have to be obvious, okay? Yeah, I'm hearing something about, the mind games, right? The love bombing, all this sort of stuff. I'm hearing something about this person talking to you like you're a toddler, along the lines of this person, you know, trying to pump you up. Oh my God, you're such a queen. You're such a king. Oh my God, I just love you so much. You're the greatest. This sort of talk, okay? It's like they're trying to butter you up. Just beware of this right now, Pisces. I mean, I feel like it's so obvious, but some of you just may be so used to this sort of communication with these people that it doesn't seem outside of the norm, but it's more insulting than anything. It's like they're insulting your intelligence. It's like they're trying to baby talk you to get you where they want you. It's sort of like the way you would talk to like your dog or your cat or something. They see you as subhuman. And that's such a great definition for King of Cups in reverse. They see you as subhuman. Okay, let's get into the second row. What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Okay. Hierophant, Taurus energy at the foundation. That came out in reverse, but I automatically read these cards as reversals, okay? So the Hierophant underneath this Four of Swords here is speaking about some sort of restriction. And the way it landed on that Three of Pentacles in reverse, to me, the Three of Pentacles upright is what you're working on. It has to do with your skills. It has to do with some sort of, let's just say for the sake of example, a business contract, right? But in reverse, and then with this energy falling on top of it the way it did, it's to say that this person, again, is trying to directly impact how you're showing up in this space. by creating all of these disruptions in and around your life with what they have always known to trigger you. Now, the Hierophant, read in its shadow, is also a very godless energy because the Hierophant upright can represent God, source, the divine, the higher order. You know, if we want to go a layer deeper, it's like this person is being controlled. It's like they're an avatar for some sort of spirit that is trying to stop you from getting to this victory. And I think that message was also coming through in Gemini and Sag. In fact, I mentioned your reading in the Gemini reading because I had a feeling that we were going to get these crossover messages between all three of these past readings. So if you haven't listened to Sag and Gemini, there might be some messages in there for you as well. Typically, when we're getting a similar message weaving through the readings, what you'll find is when you listen to one of those other readings, it's just given a different vantage point over the energy or other details surrounding the situation. I just heard they're rebelling against your success, but it's all happening in the spirit. And the Hierophant from this deck can also be an energy of literal rebellion. But it's not obvious, right? It's not showing up as a war or a physical attack. It's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. What do we have at the sacral, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the sacral? Hangman, Bifrons, Pisces, that is your energy. Now, this person is feeling victimized by your success underneath this Chariot, okay? You're making them feel small, even though you're not actively working to do that in any way, shape, or form. You're staying focused on your path. This is just how you're just triggering them. They're not used to this side of you, or it's like they just can't accept the fact that you're moving on to better days. I'm also hearing that this person spends all their time dwelling on the past and worrying about the future, which is stealing their sense of inner peace. It's like they don't know how to concentrate on the here and now and create new memories. Okay, I just heard, but it's all because they're deeply dissatisfied with the person that they are. Okay, this is the kind of person that has a really difficult time looking themselves in the mirror. Wow, I actually see them looking in the mirror at their reflection saying, "Who have you become?" Right? They're saying this to themselves. They're ashamed of themselves. They know what they're doing, but they'll never let anybody else know that. I'm also hearing something here about this person wanting you to stay in a space where they're able to say, oh yeah, you know, Pisces could have done that if they would have applied themselves. It's like that's what they want you to be. It's like they want you to be defined by all of the things you could have been. And now they're starting, I'm getting a lot of ringing right now. I feel like this is right on the money. But now they're starting to see you actually be defined by all of the things you're actually going to be. And I feel that that says it all. It's like that person, these people, whoever it is for you, don't want to have to sit there and conversate with other people who also know you and say, oh yeah, Pisces having so much success now, because they think that it puts the spotlight on them. They're so concerned with what other people think. This is what is fueling all of this. They don't want people to look at them and think, oh, Pisces did it. How come you can't? I just, wow. Right as I said that, I saw a flash of light in my peripheral vision. Okay, what do we have at the solar plexus, Spirit? Too many cards. 6 of Wands, 5 of Cups. So, yeah, that's somebody hating. Wow. That I just saw 5 of Cups and 6 of Wands. Now, that literally defines everything I just said here, because it speaks about somebody being sad that you are now victorious, that you are achieving some sort of personal triumph in your life. What do we have at the solar plexus? Unbelievable. Again, the cards follow what we're saying. Page of Swords. okay, which is all about the gossip, right? Just like I said, it's like them talking to other people and not being able to put you into a box anymore or keep you in that limited space. It's like everything is turning around on them. And whenever I see this snake, I think about Ouroboros, right, which is the snake devouring its own tail, which represents a cycle. And it's like right here, it's become unraveled. It's like you're not in that cycle anymore. You've broken out of it. This person has this sort of snake-like energy about them. It's like they're very suffocating. It's like you have escaped their suffocating grasp. And again, we have Three of Cups right there on the bottom of the deck. Now, the Three of Cups from this deck also speaks about gossip and people who don't support you but act like they do. This person will go from, well, it's like they all of a sudden see you having success now, and all of a sudden it shifts, right? Now they're talking badly about you. Oh, yeah, Pisces doing this, that, and the other, you know, whatever. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Nine of Cups. Pisces, that is your energy again there. So the Nine of Cups from this deck speaks about an energy that is very indulgent, and it also speaks about somebody who feels very entitled. Yeah, this is one of these people who is so focused on what you're doing because they think that everything should be handed to them on a silver platter. They don't want to have to put the work in to get to where you are. You know, this really comes down to somebody who prioritizes all of their time and energy into tearing other people down, when if they redirected all of that into actually succeeding and not focusing on what you're doing, they'd probably be somewhere too. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. Intellectual talent. Okay, so this is where you're at now. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on what you're building. You're not worried about what anybody else is doing. You're not comparing yourself to others' success or lack of success. You're only comparing yourself to the person you were yesterday, last month, last year. And it's this mindset and this mindset alone which is going to result in the success for you, Pisces. You know, this world we live in, especially with social media, it's really difficult not to compare yourself to others. But if you can sort of look at yourself as being the center of your own universe, your own experience, and understand that your success in the moment is unfolding exactly the way it's supposed to, it will help you detach from comparing yourself to others. And if you continue to do this, you'll see yourself having more and more success, because a lot of the times the universe wants you to feel that. So you learn from it. And then once you learn from it, they say, okay, you've learned that lesson. Let's go ahead and give you more success. You know, all of this comes down to simple manifestation 101. You are a direct reflection of what you put out into the universe. So if you put out into the universe, hey, how come I don't have that success? How come that person has more growth in their business than I'm having in mine? The universe is going to say, okay, well, looks like we got some work to do here. We're going to have to keep Pisces in this energy where they're feeling less than until they get it that other people's successes don't matter because they're inside their own experience and inside their own universe. And when they truly begin to understand this, then we can actually bring forward more success to them. So by being focused on other people's successes and comparing yourself, you're actually deflecting the success. And we don't know what other people have gone through, okay? We don't know what other people have experienced in a past life even. You know, we're all on different parts of the timeline, and it doesn't mean that just because somebody is doing better than you in one area or another, that they're better than you overall. It's sort of like if all of us are dropped into this life cycle and we're just randomly dropped in different parts of the maze. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. It just is what it is. It's randomized, right? And then we have to experience what we have to experience from that perspective inside of that geographical location, metaphorically speaking, inside of that maze. Now, I feel that this is a lesson that this other person has to learn more than you, so to speak, because the message here is clearly directed at them being too focused on what you're doing, right? But now we can see how there's different levels to this. It's like there could be somebody who's seemingly more advanced than you. And then this person here is focusing on you because they can't be where you're at. I mean, this is just life. But again, if you can just really remind yourself that you're inside your own experience, you're inside your own universe, and everything else that is going on around you is all a distraction to try and steer your focus from who you are and what you came here to do. What do we have at the throat, please? Perfect. Ace of Swords. Air energy right there at the throat. So the Ace of Swords is an energy of mental strength and, again, victory. Very similar to the Chariot in that respect. But it also shows you stepping over this person, right? And I feel that this energy here is representing this energy here, right? What we've been picking up on. This is you basically stepping over all of these weapons they're forming against you. You're not allowing it to affect you. And it's right underneath that High Priestess there. So this is you seeing through it, right? It's like they come through the love bombing and you're like, you know what? Get out of my way. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to make me feel small. What do we have at the third eye, please? Too many cards. Yeah, I just heard it's almost condescending. Yeah, I'm seeing somebody talk to you like this, right? The baby talk. And then when they turn around and walk away from you, they roll their eyes. Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye? What do we have at the third eye? Queen of Swords, air energy at the third eye. Perfect card to follow this Ace of Swords, okay? Because the Queen of Swords here is an energy of self-preservation. This is you saying no more, okay? I'm not allowing this energy into my life anymore. This is you becoming very protective of yourself and what you're building here. You're starting to understand that you got a lot to lose here, Pisces. Okay, this is where you're going. You're past the days of having nothing to lose. Okay, now you have a lot to lose, so you need to protect it. But it really just comes down to who you allow to really share your life with you. I mean, just to be completely raw and honest with you here, Pisces, the people you share your life with from this point forward need to bring something to the table. It doesn't have to be a lot. It could just be simple love and support, which can be very enriching, okay? Just to know that there's people that have your back in some capacity. That's it. That's enough. But you really just need to make sure that there's not people trying to take away from what you're doing, right? They don't have to be fully invested and add all of these things to what you're doing. That's not what we're talking about here. People just need to be there and not be doing the most. It's like these energies here feel like they're too enmeshed in what you're doing. It's like they know every move. You need to leave all of that behind. You don't need that from anyone. You can provide that for yourself. I'm also hearing something about Spirit wanting you to have a more business-like mindset in regards to your life moving forwards because of what you're building here. It's like you need to start, I know this sounds probably a bit cliche, but it's like you need to start acting like a CEO. You need to start encompassing that kind of energy, just being more professional, okay? Don't offer up so much to other people. Just hold back more, okay? What do we have at the crown, please, to close out the reading for Pisces? Ace of Wands, fire energy at the crown to close out the reading. Perfect. Now, this follows what we're saying because this Ace of Wands is representing what you're manifesting into your everyday waking life. This is what this entire reading's about. This right here. This is the power of creation, whatever this represents for you. A new project, a job, a new direction you're going in your life. For some of you, it could even be connected to a relationship, a romantic one, right? Which this whole reading would still make perfect sense. You know, this could be speaking about somebody who not only doesn't want to see you grow and have success in your life in a business sense, but maybe they don't want to see you have love. because they don't have love. It just really comes down to that crabs in a barrel mentality. It can show up in any sector of your life. So you can place this reading with whatever makes most sense to you in regards to what you are trying to manifest or bring into your life at this time. But this is a blanketed energy with this Ace of Wands here. It speaks about a new beginning that you're going to have here, Pisces. But there's some cleanup work that you need to do to be able to keep it. Otherwise, all of this would have been for nothing. So whatever this is, Pisces, it's coming through. It feels like it's not far off now. In fact, I feel that once you begin to take action in these areas here, whatever that means for you, this manifestation is going to begin to appear. So hopefully this reading has provided you with some insights to help all of this become a reality. All right, Pisces, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And if you would like to support my channel, there are a few ways that you can go about doing this. Of course, donations are always greatly appreciated, and I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who continues to support my channel. I also have an online store, which is made up of items that I have designed myself, which are all extensions of the creative universe of my channel. And I would also like to extend my gratitude to everybody who's already gone there and made purchases. I really appreciate the support. I also have my channel memberships open. It's only $2.99 a month, where I upload bonus videos, which are not available on the public side of my platform. There's already several there that should keep you busy for a while, if that's something you're interested in. Information for personal readings can be found down below. But lastly, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you, so drop me a heart and/or a comment, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.